Hey guys, I wanted to make a video for you because we're doing communion a little bit differently this week and wanted to give you as much of a heads up as possible. I'm sending you a diagram that shows you where people are going to be dismissed to take communion and where you'd be standing and all that, but I also wanted to talk you through it. So I'm going to turn you now to my computer monitor and you'll see my finger pointing at different things, and then hopefully everything is clear. So this is the diagram that I'll be sending you. This one is for the 9 a.m. service. So you can see the stage here, and then the entrance, like where you would come in normally, is right about here. And so then there's the different seating sections, and I have them A, B, C, and D. And here's the usher table right here, and then the one at the far side of the room, and then the sound tech booth towards the back of the room. So, and then your little key here, the little happy face guy, that's you if you're an usher. And then the communion elements here, that's you if you're one of the communion servers. And then the different arrows that you see show you the direction that people should be flowing as we direct them. So during the last part of the service, after the sermon, there'll be an extended time for worship, and we'll be dismissing folks for communion. So if you're on the communion serving team, you're at one of these stations here, and there's ones at the front and back of every single section. And there's plenty of time for people to take communion, and I'll tell you more about that part in other instructions. But just so you know, that's about where you'll stand. And then if you're an usher, you'll see that there's two ushers per aisle, and that's because if you're like an usher at the top, you are responsible for this section here, and if you're an usher here, you're responsible for this section here, and so on, if that makes sense. So here's how this works. If you're an usher, you'll start at the top of your section and then you'll work your way down. So like say this is row number 1, you'll dismiss people out this way towards you and then direct them towards the communion table. There'll be a little bit of a line forming, so just watch and see, and then as that line goes down, you can scoot down a little bit to row 2, but hopefully the idea would be that you dismiss row 1, they take communion, and then it's real easy for them to come back and find their seat. And then you move down, row 2, go through, row 3, and so on until everybody in your section has taken communion. The same thing for if you're in this lower section, you start with that first row, but instead you're going to send them down this way towards the communion elements, and then they'll come back to their seats, and there'll be a little bit of a line forming here. So just watch that and don't dismiss too many people at a time so we don't get a big crowd of folks. So it's the same thing for all the sections. Just go row by row, direct them to where they need to go, and then just pay attention for a line, and then just dismiss people. You don't need to be in a big hurry. We got plenty of time allotted for this, but just make sure you make it real clear with hand gestures where to go and everything. The only difference for the 10:45 service is that, and you see here, instead we have usually less people at the 10:45 service, so we won't have a table at the back here. There'll just be one communion station at the top for the kind of flank sections, and there'll just be one usher. You send people this way, they'll get their seat, and so on. So you'll just move all the way down the section. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions, but also I'll see you on Sunday. Thanks, guys.